Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
Welcome back to Trucking Politics, folks. So, everyone has heard by now that Trump picked his vice presidential running mate, J.D. Vance. It really came as a shock to me, to be honest. I really thought at the last minute that it would be switched and Trump would pull the wild card and pick Vivek Ramaswamy. I really thought that. The reason I thought that is because Vivek has been a supporter of Trump even through the debates. Even through the primaries. He never really talked bad about Trump. He's been a supporter of Trump. But he did say, Vivek did say, that he didn't want to take a second place seat. He said he was not a second place person. Now, even with that being said, I thought in typical Trump fashion that he would throw a wild card out and talk Vivek into it. Apparently that's not the case. So, the last I heard, the top contenders were Doug Bergman, Tim Scott, and Marco Rubio. Now, the question is, why did Trump pick J.D. Vance? What was the purpose and the end result of picking J.D. Vance over the other contenders? You really have to go back and look at the 2020 election, and it starts becoming more clear. Doug Burgum is the governor of North Dakota. That's not really a swing state for Trump. Marco Rubio is from Florida. Not really a swing state for Trump. J.D. Vance, however, is a very well-liked first-term senator from the state of Ohio, which could be a swing state for Trump. It makes sense. It makes sense why he picked J.D. Vance. It's not really just the team. It's not really just the person. It is the area. The central Rust Belt of the United States. He could potentially turn a lot of these states in favor of him, which may or may not be in favor of him so much. He wanted to, in my opinion, make a more strategic move by picking J.D. Vance. Now, with that being said, I don't think J.D. Vance is a bad vice presidential pick regardless. I really don't. J.D. Vance was not on board with Trump right from the start. They had a little rocky relationship, even though Trump endorsed him for his Senate run, which pushed him ahead. I think Tim Ryan if I'm not mistaken, was the Democrat that he was running against, and J.D. Vance won. He was, I guess, an outsider to begin with, and he's only been a senator for a year and a half. Now he's giving up that post and will be vice president, which we all know Trump and Vance will win. Of course, there's no doubt at this point. Like I said in my last video, if you haven't watched that, which not very many people have, I would welcome you to go back and watch that video. I believe it was a very good video. I spent quite a bit of time researching and looking into that, and it spelled out in there some things that pertain to this video. They have a good winning strategy. Trump is surging in the polls. He's picking a very well liked first-term senator from Ohio. He's got a good team. He's building a good team. So, getting back for a second to the other contenders, I was looking down the list just out of curiosity and wondering why he didn't pick someone else. Of course, the candidates, Republican candidates, Asa Hutchinson from Arkansas, total dud. He got nowhere. He was not going to even get 1% of the vote. So Arkansas is not one of these swing states. Trump will carry Arkansas for sure. Nikki Haley. That is self-explanatory if you watch politics at all. South Carolina, not really a swing state for Trump. He and Nikki Haley obviously did not get along very well. Some nasty words were being spoken from Nikki Haley to Trump, which is not a good idea ever. Ron DeSantis. I don't think the relationship between Ron DeSantis and Trump is the best, but I also don't think it's the worst. I think the media makes it out to be a lot worse than what it is. Again, Florida is not really a swing state for Trump, so he didn't really have anything in his favor of picking Ron DeSantis. Chris Christie. I don't even know where to start to have a middle or have an end with Chris Christie. At this point, his political career is over, in my opinion. There towards the end of the primaries, he was lashing out at Trump, just being really nasty, a real sore loser. There would have been zero benefit. It would have been a disaster to even consider Chris Christie for a vice president. Mike Pence. If there was anyone worse than Chris Christie, it would have been Mike Pence. Again, never going to happen. And Ted Cruz. Again, Ted Cruz, of course, is from Texas, not a swing state for Trump. Ted and Trump are similar to Ron DeSantis and Trump. Not the best relationship. I wouldn't say it is the worst relationship. Of course, the media is going to make it out to be worse than what it is. But there was really no benefit in picking Ted Cruz. those were the Republican candidates earlier in this election cycle. Tim Scott was one that really stuck out. A lot of people thought that he would pick Tim Scott. Again, South Carolina is where Tim Scott is from. He is. It's not really a swing state for Trump. I don't really see a lot of benefit. Now, Tim Scott's a great guy. I mean, very wholesome Christian man. Great guy, in my opinion. Would have been a great vice president. He just didn't stand out, really. He didn't stand out in the primaries. He's a great guy for what he does for the state of South Carolina. He does great for what he does. I just didn't really see him being vice president. Would he have made a good vice president? Absolutely. Wonderful vice president. I'm not knocking the guy at all. And I can see why he was one of the top contenders. He is very well liked by the Republican Party, very well liked in South Carolina. Of course, he would help Trump with the black vote, which I don't really see any issue there. I think we're way past race in this. I don't see that. Anyway, that was the people that were in the election cycle that were contenders, and that is really my take on it. I just wanted to throw something in here of people that I thought would make a huge difference. My take on it. One, Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota. And why her? Because she is running the state of South Dakota like a champ. I mean, that state is run so well with her being governor. I think South Dakota will be losing one of their greatest governors once she leaves office. That's my opinion. She is a very strong Trump supporter. She's very well liked within the Republican Party. Trump is constantly pushing for putting females in positions of management and promoting females in the workplace. He's very pro-female. I think Kristi Noem would have been, in my opinion, one of the greatest vice presidents he could have picked. Maybe she declined the offer. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Trump didn't put that much consideration in for her. Maybe there was a little bit of controversy there somehow that I didn't see. In my opinion, I think she would have been as good or better vice president than she is governor, which is saying a lot. I mean, that's a stretch, because she's not a good governor. She is a great governor. I think she would have been a wonderful vice presidential pick. My opinion. Another, Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake is a firebrand. She went through a lot in Arizona. She did not take that loss lying down. She come back swinging, fighting, pushing back. The whole time she was a Trump supporter. Very intelligent lady. I think there is a lot more coming from Carrie Lake. There's talk about her running for senator in Arizona. Wouldn't surprise me if she ran for governor again. Wouldn't really surprise me if she didn't get a cabinet position with Trump once he wins the election. A lot of positions in Trump's cabinet would fit Carrie Lake very well. I don't think you've heard the last of her. Keep her in mind. Vice presidential pick, there wasn't a lot of talk about it, but my opinion, she would have been right up there with the top contenders. The last one is a wild card for me. This guy thoroughly impresses me every time I watch him. He is very well spoken. He is steady with his choices, with his vote, with his stand. Ex-military, proud, patriotic American, comes from the great state of Texas. You don't hear a lot about him in this upper area. He was not a presidential candidate. He didn't get mentioned as a vice presidential pick. Really not a lot of talk about him, period. These are my picks. What I would think would be top of the line. Might surprise you on this one, but Mr. Wesley Hunt, that guy, wow. Could you imagine Trump and Wesley Hunt as a team? If you follow him very much, if you watch the man very much, Wesley Hunt wouldn't be just a great vice president, in my opinion. He would be outstanding. And if there is this chance, a 0.001% chance that Wesley Hunt is watching this video, I very much doubt that he will. But if he does, in my opinion, Wesley Hunt wouldn't be just a great vice president. He would be a great president. I really like the guy. I don't have anything bad whatsoever to say about Wesley Hunt. Great guy. I don't really see why he would not want to go farther in politics. Probably he will. And especially a state like Texas that is slowly turning this red to blue, I guess they call it purple. they need a strong voice, a strong conservative voice in Texas like Wesley Hunt. Keep an eye on that guy. I really think there's more to come with him too. So that was my picks. Personal picks. Kristi Noem, Kari Lake, Wesley Hunt. Maybe I'm a weirdo. Maybe I'm weird about the way I look at vice presidential candidates. I think J.D. Vance and Trump is more like a strategic chess move. That's what I see there. Not knocking either one of them. You know, I'm not knocking Trump's choice. I'm not knocking J.D. Vance for the position. It's just, it's not really a marriage of affection there. It's more of a strategic move, in my opinion. And a very good one on Trump's part. Let's see how he fares in Ohio once the votes are tallied. We'll see if his move worked in favor of him. And not just Ohio, but the Midwestern Rust Belt states. Let's see how that works. Hopefully it works very well for him. But I'm going to end the video. Hopefully that was entertaining a little bit for you. Hopefully my ideas are not just far out craziness. It is what it is. I really think Trump and J.D. Vance are going to be the winning ticket. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Thanks for watching, folks.